Let's talk about one of the questions that I commonly get is, with regards to, is there any kind of risk? For instance, a lot of people bring up, for some reason, cancer. Is there any kind of a connection or something that people should be concerned about with NMN and cancer?
Yeah, so there is a theory that decreased NAD in tumors would actually prevent the PARP enzymes from repairing tumor's DNA and hence make the tumor more sensitive to chemotherapy. So this is why PARP inhibitors actually used for treating cancers. But we actually have evidence that in mice, there is no increase in tumor growth when taking NMN, and this has been shown in multiple studies. And not only that, but in humans, there was a study where participants that previously had skin cancer, after the cancers were removed, they were taking NAD boosters, and not only there was no stimulation of new growth of cancerous cells, but it looked like the NAD boosting supplementation basically made healthy cells to grow faster. So this is really interesting, and the reason why cancer and NMN are brought up together sometimes is that in the biology of aging and in the biology of cancer, there are some similarities. So there are some genes that are upregulated, such as HIF1. So this is a hypoxia gene, and so on. And it looks like there is a complex there is a complex role of NAD in cancer. But however, what we're seeing is that it looks like we still don't understand the mechanism very well. But what we're seeing in terms of the evidence is that NAD supplementation definitely doesn't cause cancer. And this has been shown in mice. And I think that what we can do is we can link in the description a few studies that I have in mind at the moment.
Oh, that'd be great.
So people could kind of, check by themselves the studies that I'm talking about, including the skin cancer and NAD supplementation study that has been done in humans.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks so much for answering that question. I know it's a sticking point for some people. And for those guys who are watching, we've been talking about longevity, NMN, and the cancer connection, or apparently the lack thereof, thankfully, with Dr. Seranova. Check out the links below. She's going to give me some links. And of course,
it's basically very it's important to always say that in many biological processes, there are some processes that we still don't understand how they work, and they could potentially act as a double-edged sword, but this doesn't mean that everyone would be affected. So for instance, there is this study with the skin cancer that has shown that NAD boosters are not are not bad for patients that previously had skin cancer. However, this doesn't mean that more research doesn't need to be done. Of course, we need to kind of investigate different kind of cancers and how they are affected, and so on. And also, there are other processes that could be beneficial in one context, but not in other. But this doesn't mean that they are bad processes. So the same applies to, let's say, the process of autophagy in the cell, which is the process by which the cell is kind of clearing up the different toxins and the junk proteins that are floating around in the cell, because autophagy is a very, very beneficial process. And in cancer, in some cancers, actually, they're hijacking this mechanism of autophagy in order to survive. So it's not that the autophagy process is really bad for you. It's actually really, really good. And, this is why people do intermittent fasting and all these things. But in some particular instances, it might be bad. However, we know how to modulate this. There are some autophagy inhibitors that could be applied locally and so on. And this goes on with this applies to different processes in the cell, and there is no such thing as categorizing one particular process in the cell as being very bad in all contexts. We just need more research. However, just to summarize, definitely the data that I'm seeing so far look very, very good. And even in a mouse cancer model where mice already had tumors and they were supplemented with NMN, the tumors didn't show accelerated growth. So this was a really nice study as well.
Excellent. Yeah, it's our human nature. We want it to be pretty simple, right? This is
Yeah.
good, this is bad. And of course, as always, it's far more complex, but it's always nice when we see progress, or at least the implications of what we've already done research on going in that direction. So awesome. Thank you for that answer. Hey everybody, this was a part of my ongoing conversations with Dr. Seranova. If you're interested in learning more, please take a look at the links below. And also remember, there is a discount code there if you'd like to order some of NMN from NMN Bio. That is her company. So hope you enjoyed this video. Look for more to come.